Hello everyone, this is Pawan Chawda presenting you architectural thesis on Experiential Food Hub, where the relationship of food, architecture and people is explored. It has been fascinating how food and architecture have always connected people and encouraged social interactions and activities. The shift to urban lifestyle has led to lack of social bonds and connections. The following are the contents in the presentation. William H. White, an American journalist and urbanist, once said, "If you need to seed a place with activity, put out food. Food attracts people who attract more people." Food that is considered to be a necessity of everyday life turns into celebration that ties human bonds. In this triad of live, work, and play, play is one of the important aspects of life that increases social livelihood. This triad is required to sustain in the present days. However, food becomes a celebration aspect in the concept of play. The idea of recreation and social spaces have changed from the older times. The narrow streets, katte, public squares, or a stream were the place where people would socialize and engage. In recent times, the recreation spaces have changed to shopping malls, cineplexes, etc., where the people are restricted with artificial environments. Also, these spaces are more often used during weekends and vacations and not regularly. So, what is this experiential food hub? Experiential Food Hub is a one-stop destination where the diverse group will come together to experience and enjoy the different eateries, ambience, and settings. The Food Hub, along with showcasing different food cultures, will also provide the users different activities to attract them regularly. Green ideas for kitchen, that is solar cooking, steam cooking, and waste management is also explored. To understand how to create a public space and design to support their needs, enjoyment, and experiences, an article on placemaking was studied. We understand that to make a great place, four attributes are the main key. They are access and linkage, comfort and image, uses and activities, and sociability. These attributes speak about the space being easily accessible and visible from a distance, having permeable side edges to attract flow of people, active side edges and frontage for safety of public, and creating identity and image. It also explores the idea of power of 10 plus. The thought behind this concept is that the place flourishes when users have various reasons to be there. Every day, food in large number gets wasted by people in institutions, hospitality centers, and even home. The two approaches to manage these wastes are by collecting and redistribution of these foods to the hungry people, homeless, and undernourished. The other method is by waste management. By waste management, the organic food waste is broken down with the help of microorganisms to get the end product, that is compost, which can be used as plant nutrients in farming. Typologies of eateries. A study of different typologies was conducted to understand the different characteristics, settings, and ambience of these eateries. The first one of them is the Eat Street. It is located in the commuting path between shopping and commercial hubs, other recreational hubs such as beaches and parks, and residential zones. These sketches show the characteristics where the crowd pattern varies from morning to evening, the insufficient light and seatings causing a problem to the users, and how chaotic and lively the street gets in the night. The next one is quick service restaurant. They are usually located in the commercial areas, busy market roads, tourist spots, and parks. They are fast-moving restaurants serving low and middle-class groups. They are made very attractive by using bright colors, and the ambience is brightly lit as it affects the psychology of humans to eat and move faster. The next one is cafe. They are usually located in the high-end societies, near tech parks, IT hubs, and usually serve the student and youth crowd around. The ambience is given more attention and the setting is made relaxing and calm to make them stay for long. Different types of enclosures, space quality, lightings are given to the users. The spaces and cafes are defined by the different activities and facilities provided by them. They can be co-working, library, exhibit space, performance space, and workshop space. The next ones are fine dining restaurants and pubs and breweries. They're located again in the high-end societies near tech parks or IT hubs. The ambience is given more attention for the users as they tend to stay longer. The dim lighting used, the different types of enclosures, and the seatings placed closely, the privacy increased, and the live performances and screenings are the characteristics which add up to their ambience. Urban public spaces. Urban public spaces are trying to blend traditional essence in the urban areas to give the public social life and anchor culture of the city. One such example is Delhi Hat. Delhi Hat has been executed in three various parts of Delhi, yet its concept and character remains same. Located amidst commercial centers and residential colonies, it offers people traditional character through the medium of architecture, food, and events. These images show the public enjoying the Thai festival conducted by the Delhi Hat. The performances are conducted in the open air theatre along with the Thai cuisine foods in the adjacent stalls. The sections and images here explain us that how a space can be multi-purpose and have scope for different activities. Having scope for different activities and events makes the user visit Delhi Hat more often. Green kitchen ideas. As the world is leading towards global warming and climate crisis, designing self-sufficient spaces will help reduce these problems. Sekmol in Ladakh, founded by Sonam Wangchuk, excels in example of vernacular and sustainable concepts. Solar cooking in Sekmol. Two concentrating solar panels cook food for the whole campus. Huge parabolic reflectors is made using smaller mirrors. These smaller mirrors reflect the sun rays to the secondary reflector, which is under the cooking pot. These cookers give as much as heat as large gas burners. Solar Kitchen Auroville. The Solar Kitchen in Auroville is a community kitchen for the Aurovillians, and it gets its name from the enormous solar bowl on its rooftop. This gives portion of the steam to cook in the bright days of the year. The receiver is rotated at different angles to catch the sun rays and convert the water into steam. How does this solar bowl work? The mirrors in the bowl reflects the sun rays onto the heat receiver and the water is pumped through the copper coils of heat receiver and turned into the steam. The steam is piped down to the control room and the steam is routed to the kitchen. The kitchen has been serving 1,000 meals every day since 1997 and is popularly used by the Aurovillians. The site is located in Mysuru, cultural capital city of Karnataka, housing many artists, intellectuals and heritage monuments. It is growing at an alarming rate due to increase in IT establishments. Over the years, Mysuru has become a cosmopolitan city with people from various backgrounds coming together and living peacefully. The city has to cater to this new crowd and provide them with new public spaces. The site selection criteria were to have diverse group based on age, economy and choices. It should be accessible to all easily. And the presence of commercial activities around the site would increase the flow of people. The city is famous for its tourism. This image here shows the tourist movement in the city. According to MUDA, the new developments for the tourism and public should happen away from the tourist circuit to expand the movement. The preferable locations were in Hunsur Road, Vijayanagar, and Mysore-Bangalore Road. Hunsur Road connects Bangalore to the other tourist destinations via Mysore. Hence, selecting the site here would add value to the hub. The site is located in Zone B of the city. In this location, besides residential layouts, developers have lined up an array of proposals to develop malls and convention centers. The landmarks and tourist spots are within 2 km and 5 km radius. The site is encompassed by an arterial road, that is Hunsur Road, and KD Road that facilitates commercial activities. The pedestrians are seen more active on the KD Road than Hunsur Road. The Hunsur Road is dominated by the vehicular and tourist buses. The empty sites on either side of the Hunsur Road convinces people to not use the pedestrian path. The varying land usage, that is residential, commercial, public and industrial buildings around the site, generates the variety of user groups to the site. The built and unbuilt relationship tells that the surroundings are less dense and there are many open sites which are yet to be developed. The site presently is used as fair and exhibitions and dump yard when they are not conducted. These fairs and exhibitions are held annually or monthly wise. The fairs and exhibitions have always received a positive response from the public around and is mostly popular among residents and the colleges around. Activities around the site. The recreational activities around the site are majorly shopping and food and beverages, and this is mostly seen on the KD Road. The other building typologies which are majorly seen around the site are hostel, commercial and residential buildings. Also, cafe is the widely used and most popular among the users. Seeing that the KD Road is more pedestrian active and busy throughout the day, the site is chosen adjacent to the KD Road. This will maintain the regular flow of the site. Mysore city receives wind from southwest and northeast direction and has moderate climate. The city doesn't experience extreme cases in temperature and rainfall. This temperature can be made comfortable by manipulating the microclimate, orientation and by using suitable materials. Site features. The junctions around the KD Road produce lot of traffic noise, which might hamper the events organized within the site. Also, we should make sure that the noise from the hub shouldn't disturb the residents around. The site has existing water body and existing vegetations. Also, the site is sloping down towards the Hunsur Road by 20 meters. Google Forms survey on users' choice was conducted to understand the choices and needs. The questions asked were whether they use the typology for necessity or celebration, used mostly for weekdays or weekends and the timings used, and their company with whom they would visit often. This survey gave me a clear understanding of quality of spaces to be given for the users. The user groups were classified into management and visitors to understand their usage pattern. The hub consists of three zones, that is socializing zone, green zone, and administrative and service zone. The socializing zone consists of primary buildings such as reception, co-working and reading cafes, eat streets, breweries, quick service, fine dining, and dining spaces. The green zone consists of the kitchen, which will follow solar cooking and steam cooking and also conduct waste management. The administrative zone consists of admin office, service areas, staff rooms, storage, and toilets. Activity space relationship was understood to create a definite circulation. The site is zoned in such a way that when a person walks from one end to another, he sees there is a change in informal spaces and formal spaces. The informal spaces are in the beginning such as plaza, eat street, retail and OIT, and as he passes down, he sees spaces like fine dining, breweries and workshops. Form development. The form is developed in these stages. The plaza in the front is for the public to create openness in the KD road. Back entry is given for the staff, services and fine dining restaurants. Vehicular movement is given at the periphery. The pedestrian movement is active in the plaza and along the axis. The pedestrian movement is encouraged by activities along the path. Dynamic activities are introduced in the site to invite people regularly. Dynamic activities such as flea markets, cultural activities, exhibits, workshops will give them more than dining experiences and more reasons to come to the site. The users are given different journey experiences. The journey experiences are created by the enclosures and gateways, light, directions, change in directions, levels, and surface textures. The activity path. To encourage the movement of users throughout the site, the activity nodes are a part of pedestrian path. When the activities are introduced in their walkways, the users become a part of the activity events and not just a passerby. Also, they act as a pause point and rest points. Different typologies of eateries have different typologies of ambiances. These ambiances can be provided by creating different moods of lightings. One such mode of light is dim lighting. This kind of light is used in fine dining and breweries and pubs. Then comes the bright lighting, which produces a more brisk and lively mood used in cafes and quick service restaurants. Then comes the task lighting, which helps the customers and employees perform tasks like reading the menu and being able to clearly see the table, used in fine dining and cafes. The last one is the accent lighting. More decorative than functional, accent lighting is used to draw attention to specific areas and objects to create visual interest. It is used in pathways and diffusing light from the wall. Different typologies of eateries have different typologies of ambience and space qualities. This was understood by listing down the activities, time used, the nature of space, whether it is enclosed, semi-open, open, or formal and informal. Volume analysis, which consists of what are the different volumes of each spaces and what are the lighting requirements of each spaces. And then the area was calculated using the references. The total site area is 31,400 square meters and the FAR achieved is 0.25. Coming to the site plan. The site is planned with two different entrances. The primary entry faces the KD road for pedestrians and vehicles. The secondary entry faces the minor roads for the service, staff, fine dine, brewery and cafe only zone. The site edge towards KD road is treated to attract and invite the public passing by. A set of pivoting panels are placed at the entrance which can transform the entry experience of users every time. These panels can exhibit any news bulletin or information on events of hub or even art display by local small artists. This is shown in the top right view. This creates curiosity among the passerby to come and check what is new happening in the hub. Also, these can be pivoted back such that it closes in the night. One passes through different activities before reaching the dining space. We see in the sections AA and section BB that the users are passing through retails, flea markets to reach the quick service restaurant and the OAT for cafe. After passing through the busy Eat Street and retail stores and shops, one reaches the Mount and OAT. In this space, one can come out and sit and hang out for a longer time. Public can spend their time after coming out from an eatery to loiter and laze around with their friends, waiting for the next class to start or with their colleagues till the lunch hour ends. This mount extends to a OAT at the end, which can house cultural programs or informal events or even movie screenings. The path culminates at the brewery and fine dining zone. This is the last dining block in the site. Also, a waste management center is zoned at the end of the site. Here, the food from nearby institutions, convention centers, or eateries can come and deposit the waste, which can be either redistributed to poor and composted. The plaza. An open public space was needed very much in the densely packed commercial Kalidasa Road. The plaza is made very interactive and inviting by adding food stalls and retail stores in the front. A seating space is also added to give the users image of comfort as they enter the site. Also, a series of steps leads the public to the corridor above the retail where the flea markets and exhibits are held. This is shown in the first floor plan. In section AA-, it is seen that the plaza is designed to give the users a characteristic of each street by inducing different activities along the path, that is, flea market, exhibitions and retail stores, and the streets are narrowed down. In the section BB, we see that the food stalls are placed along the path to give the pedestrians street experience within the site. Also, a temporary and movable seating space is provided in front of each street. This is shown in the view in the bottom right. Quick service restaurant. This quick service restaurant caters to the fast moving crowd and is divided into different dining zones. The different dining zones provided here are the drive-in space, the self-service zone, the service zone for casual dining, and canteen in the first floor. The experience of drive-in restaurant is provided to the tourists and users who need not enter the restaurant. A small courtyard space is provided for them to come out and dine. Self-service zones are provided in the beginning of the entrance of the block. This will allow the users to come and leave the space quickly. The service zones will be used more by families and public who come for casual dinings. A small play area is also provided for the children to be engaged. The first floor has canteen services where the food will be produced in bulk. The user come here in large groups of friends and colleagues and also alone. Some seatings here are arranged in a way to cater to the large groups and even individuals. Since this eatery produces food in bulk, the steam cooking technique is used. The solar bowl is placed on the rooftop that will catch the sun rays and boil the water to form the steam that will be used for cooking. The space below the bowl is used as seatings and office for the restaurant. The steam kitchen is detailed out in the section AA-. We see that the solar bowl forms a part of the roof and also the elevation. It is 15 meter wide. The steam is directed to the kitchen through the pipes running down the courtyard. The space quality is brightly lit by introducing courtyards and permeable pot walls, and in the elevation we see that the windows use stained glasses to bring in bright reflection of light. Cafe. The design of cafe is characterized by different activities provided. Activities such as art exhibits, installations, small performing stage, and open to public, co-working space, gaming zones characterize the different spatial qualities in the design. Workshops are attached to the cafe where the classes and activities on different topics can be conducted. The workshop can exhibit their works in the cafe and OAT. The ground floor is designed to have calm and relaxing space by giving dim ambience, low seatings, and aesthetic walls that will provide diffuse lightings. The walls use glass bottles and jalis to provide these diffuse lightings. The top floor has co-working space, thus it has to be brightly lit and should have ambient lighting. Private cubicles are provided for the users to rent and use as office spaces. A refreshing zone where people can come and play or read a book is provided for the co-workers. The cafe is provided with parabolic solar panels. The height of the roof and the courtyards are taken care that it doesn't block the sun rays falling on the solar panels. The section AA- and section BB- show how the solar panels work. Fine dine and brewery. Fine dining and brewery are placed at the end of the site to have their own privacy and stay away from the traffic noise of the KD road. The users of fine dining are majorly families and couples, and for breweries, group of friends. Fine dining and brewery are differentiated by varying levels and lightings, height of ceilings, and seatings. Fine dining is made family friendly by introducing play area and entrance from the courtyard. The brew pub has its own separate entrance and one has to climb down to experience a different ambience. The microbrewery is kept open for the users to see the process. Bar table is placed along this brewery. An open space is provided in the brewery where smoking will be allowed. There is a provision for campfire in this open space. Also, there is a water body which will cool the airflow. A stage is provided for live performances and sports screenings to entertain the people till their order arrives. The first floor consists of fine dining space which can be managed by different administration. A dancing club is also introduced on the top of the brew pub. Since the residents surround the site, the brew pub should be acoustically proofed and air conditioned. Here again, there are two sets of parabolic solar cookers used to provide the food for the restaurants and the breweries. The south and west walls have the aesthetic walls of jalis and glass bottles. This will provide diffused light inside. Thank you. The basements are located at two different levels, separating the parking of different spaces. The basement at -3.5 meter level serves the parking for each street, QSR, and plaza. Users entering from KD Road pass through the basement at -3.5 meter level before entering the basement at -4.7 meters. The basement at -4.7 meters serves for the fine dining, breweries, and cafes. Thank you. Thank you.